Doc, let's get a few things straight. I'm not your drill sergeant. I'm not going to scream at you until my veins pop out and you question your life choices. That's not what this is. I'm also not your grandmother, the one you only visit on holidays and pretend to listen to while you eat her cooking. I'm not here to coddle you or tell you everything's going to be okay while I pinch your cheeks. What I am is someone who's been where you are. Someone who knows what it's like to fight your own head before your feet even hit the floor. I'm the medic who's seen some things. The doc who's not going to sugarcoat it, but also isn't going to leave you hanging. So here's the deal. I'll give it to you straight. You do the work, and somewhere in the middle, we'll figure this out together. Now let's get to it. Hey, it's Doc. Yeah, I know. It's early. Or maybe it's not early, and you're still in the rack anyway. Either way, here we are. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. That bed feels good, warm, safe. The world outside that blanket? Cold, loud, full of people who don't get it. I know. But here's the thing. You already know what you're going to do. You're going to get up. You know why? Because you've done harder things than this. Way harder. You've stood post at 0 dark 30 when every cell in your body was screaming for sleep. You've rucked miles with a pack that weighed more than some people's commitment to anything. You've embraced the suck when the suck was all there was. And now what? A soft bed is going to keep you down? Nah, I don't think so. Here's your sit rep. The mission today is simple. Feet on the floor. That's it. That's the first objective. Everything else comes after. You don't have to conquer the whole day right now. You just have to take the first position. 1 foot, then the other, then you're standing, then you're moving. And once you're moving, you know how this works. Objects in motion stay in motion. That's not motivation, that's physics. I know what you're thinking. What's the point? Why bother? Nobody cares if I get up or not. And maybe that's true. Maybe nobody's watching. No first sergeant waiting to smoke you for being late. No formation to make. No accountability. But here's the reverse of that. No one's coming to save you either. No one's going to burst through that door and drag you to your feet. No one's going to hand you a purpose or a mission or a reason to keep going. That's on you now. It's always been on you. The uniform came off, but you didn't. You're still in there. Same person who raised their right hand. Same person who showed up when it mattered. So show up now, for yourself. Not because someone's making you, because you decided to. Let me ask you something. You ever notice how the hardest part of anything is just starting? The ruck march sucked, but the worst part was standing at the start point, knowing what was coming. Once you were moving, you found your rhythm. You settled in. You drove on. Same thing here. The bed is the start point. Getting up is the step off. Once you're moving, you'll find your rhythm. I promise. All right, here's what we're going to do. Take a breath. Deep one. In through the nose. Hold it. Now out. Slow. Good. Do that again. One more deep breath. Fill your lungs like you're about to sound off. Hold and out. Okay, now sit up. I don't care how you do it. Roll, lurch, whatever. Just get vertical. Good. You're up. That's the hard part. Seriously, that was the hardest part of your whole day and you just did it. Now put your feet on the floor. Feel that? That's the ground. Solid. It's been waiting for you. Look, I'm not going to give you some motivational speech about being a warrior or chasing greatness or whatever. You've heard all that. It gets old. Here's what I will say. You're still here. After everything. All of it. The deployments. The bullshit. The friends you lost. The parts of yourself you left scattered across time zones you can't even remember anymore. You're still here. That counts for something. That counts for a lot. And today is just another day you get to prove that you're not done yet. That you've still got something left in the tank, that the best parts of who you are didn't stay overseas or get filed away with your DD-214. So here's the plan. You're going to stand up. You're going to drink some water because you're probably dehydrated. And then you're going to do one thing. Just one. Could be a shower. Could be coffee. Could be stepping outside for 60 seconds of fresh air. One thing. Then another. Then another. That's how you take the day. Same way you took everything else. One step at a time, 1 foot in front of the other. Drive on. The civilian world doesn't hand out awards for getting out of bed. No one's going to pin a medal on your chest for brushing your teeth. But you know what? You don't need that anymore. You did this job for years without recognition. You know how to operate without applause. So operate. All right, I've got your 6 today, same as always. But you gotta move. I can't do the push-ups for you. I can't make the coffee for you. That's your lane. So take it. Stand up. Drink water. Get after it. I'll check on you tonight. We'll wind down together. But right now it's time to get some. Move out! So with me? Good, you're vertical now. That's more than a lot of people can say. Seriously, there are people out there who hit snooze 6 times and then wonder why their life feels like it's on autopilot. That's not you, not today. Now let's talk about water. I know. You want coffee. You want that caffeine hitting your system like a supply drop in the desert. I get it. But your body's been running on empty for hours. You're dehydrated. Your brain is foggy. Water first, coffee second. Think of it like PMCS for your body. You wouldn't roll out the gate without checking your vehicle. Don't roll into your day without topping off your fluids. It's not complicated. Glass of water, down it. Then get your coffee. Proper order of operations. All right, let's talk about the day ahead. I don't know what's on your schedule. Maybe you've got work. Maybe you've got appointments. Maybe you've got absolutely nothing planned, and that's part of the problem. The empty calendar. The open hours stretching out with no mission, no purpose, no reason to move with any urgency. Here's the thing about that. You've operated in chaos. You've operated in structure. You can operate in both. What you can't do is operate in drift. Drift is the killer. Drift is what happens when you wake up at noon and the day's already half gone and you feel like you missed the convoy. So even if you've got nothing scheduled, schedule something. Anything. A workout, a walk, a phone call to someone you've been avoiding. One anchor point that gives the day shape. You used to have formation. Now you make your own formation. You're the first sergeant of your own life now. Act like it. Let me tell you something they don't put in the transition briefs. The hardest part of getting out isn't finding a job. It's not learning how to talk to civilians or figuring out what business casual means. The hardest part is waking up and realizing that nobody needs you to be anywhere. In the service, you were always needed, always on call, always part of something bigger. And yeah, sometimes that sucked. The mandatory fun, the weekend duty, the endless formations for no reason. But it also meant you mattered. Your presence was required. Your absence was noticed. Now, you can disappear into that bed for days and the world keeps spinning. Nobody's going to call looking for you. Nobody's going to send someone to your room to check if you're still breathing. And that freedom, it can feel like falling, like there's nothing to grab onto. But here's the flip side. That freedom is also power. You get to choose now. Every single day, you get to choose what matters, what you show up for, who you show up as. The structure is gone, so build your own. The mission is over, so find a new one. The team's scattered, so find your people. It's harder this way, no doubt, but it's also yours, fully yours, and that's worth getting out of bed for. Now let's talk about your head for a second. I know it gets loud in there. The thoughts that circle like vultures, the memories that ambush you out of nowhere, the voice that tells you you're broken, you're behind, you're never going to figure this out. That voice is a liar. I need you to hear me on this. That voice is a liar. You've been through things that would break most people. And yeah, maybe some parts of you did break. Maybe you're still putting pieces back together. That's okay. That's the work. That's what we're doing here. But broken doesn't mean done. Damaged doesn't mean useless. You're not a piece of equipment that gets deadlined and forgotten. You're a human being. You adapt. You overcome. You figure it out. That's what you've always done. So when that voice starts up this morning, and it will, just let it talk. Don't argue with it. Don't feed it. Just notice it, nod, and keep moving. It's just noise. You've operated through worse noise than this. Here's a trick that works for me. When the day feels too big, I shrink it down. I don't think about the whole day. I think about the next hour, sometimes the next 15 minutes. What can I do right now in this small window that moves me forward? Maybe it's making the bed. Yeah, I know. You've heard the speech about making your bed, but it's not about the bed. It's about completing something. Anything. First task of the day. Done. That momentum carries. Maybe it's 10 push-ups. Not because you're training for anything, just because movement creates energy. Your body doesn't know the difference between motivated movement and forced movement. It just knows you're moving, and it responds. Maybe it's stepping outside. 60 seconds of sunlight on your face, fresh air in your lungs, reminding your nervous system that the world isn't just the four walls of your room. Small victories. Stack them up. That's how you take the morning. One more thing before I let you go. You're not alone in this. I know it feels that way sometimes, especially at dark stupid when the world's asleep and your brain won't shut off. But there are millions of us out here. Veterans, former service members, people who get it. We're scattered across the country, waking up to the same fight every morning, trying to find purpose in a world that wasn't built for us, trying to translate skills that don't fit neatly on a resume, trying to explain experiences that civilians will never fully understand. But we're out here, and we're still fighting, not against an enemy, against the drift, against the isolation, against the voice that says it's not worth it. You're part of that. Whether you feel it or not, you're part of something bigger. You always have been. Let me tell you what I see when I think about you. I see someone who signed up when they didn't have to, who raised their right hand and meant it, who showed up to places most people can't find on a map and did things most people can't imagine. I see someone who learned to function on no sleep, bad food, and worse leadership, who figured out how to laugh when everything was falling apart, who carried weight, physical and otherwise, that would crush a normal person. That's who you are. That's who you've always been. The uniform didn't make you that. You brought that with you, and you still have it. So when you look in the mirror this morning, and I want you to actually do this, look yourself in the eye and remember who you're looking at. Not who you think you've become, not who the bad days tell you that you are, but who you actually are underneath all the noise. A veteran, a survivor, someone who's still standing after everything. That person deserves a good day. That person deserves to get after it. So give yourself that. Now here's the deal for today. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm not asking you to crush some insane workout or land a job or fix your whole life before lunch. That's not how this works. I'm asking you to be present, to show up for yourself the way you showed up for your team, to treat your own well-being like it actually matters, because it does. Hydrate. Eat something that isn't garbage. Move your body, even if it's just a walk around the block. Talk to another human being, even if it's just small talk at the gas station. These aren't big asks, but they add up. Day after day, they add up. And 6 months from now, you'll look back and realize you built something. A routine, a rhythm, a life that actually feels like yours. That's the mission now. Not some grand heroic thing, just showing up, day after day, stacking those small wins until they turn into something bigger. You've done harder things. This one's just slower. All right, here's your op board for the day. Phase 1. You're already done with this. You're up. You're vertical. Check. Phase 2. Hydration and fuel. Water first, then coffee, then food. Get your system online. Phase 3. Move. Doesn't matter how. Push-ups, stretching, a walk, a full workout. Just get blood flowing. Phase 4. One task. Pick one thing that's been sitting on your list. One thing you've been avoiding. Knock it out. Cross it off. Feel that momentum. Phase 5. Connect. Text someone. Call someone. Hell, just say good morning to a stranger. Break the isolation. That's it. 5 phases. Nothing crazy, nothing impossible. Just a framework to keep you moving forward instead of standing still. And tonight, When the day is done and you're back in that rack, I'll be here again. We'll wind down together. We'll slow everything down and let your body remember how to rest. But that's tonight. Right now we're in go mode. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to stop talking and you're going to get moving. You're going to attack this day like it owes you money. You're going to find something, anything, that reminds you why you're still here. Not because I told you to, because you decided to. One last thing. I'm proud of you. I know that might sound weird coming from a voice in your headphones, but I mean it. You woke up today. You listened to this. You're choosing to engage instead of retreat. That's not nothing. That's everything. A lot of people don't make that choice. A lot of people stay in the bed, stay in the dark, stay stuck. But not you. Not today. All right, enough talking. Time to execute. Drink water, eat food, move your body, handle your business. You've got this. You've always had this. I've got your 6. Now go get some. Doc out.